welcome to this channel, or welcome back. My name is Priscilla. Uh-oh, someone's at my outside. And sorry, my name is Priscilla and I'm from Pretty and Pate, and I like to crochet a lot. I did promise a little market recap here on this channel, talking about a 3-day market that I just had. Today is Monday, so today is the day after my event, and it was honestly so fun. I was tired. It was such early mornings and late evenings. Like, I had to get there early because the place was an hour away from me, and you know, like leaving there, coming back was another hour. So it was rough and it was so exhausting, but I'm so happy with the turnout. I had fun like chatting with people. There was a lot of people that were visiting from other states, like just to, you know, for just the fall festivals and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know where to start. I did put something in my Instagram, like a Q&A box, and I can go through those questions first before I could maybe fill in some spaces that I feel like are important. I do have them here right in front of me, so I did count. I have 66 responses, and there was 15 asking about mystery bags. So at my show, or whatever you want to call it, market, I did bring mystery bags, and this was my first time ever doing that. I have seen other makers do that for their shows and their markets, and I was like, that's such a fun idea, and I think I want to try it. I basically was just doing it to experiment, and they did really well. So I brought 10 on Friday, and by the way, this is a 3-day event. I'm unsure if I mentioned that. So it was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday event. But I did bring 10 on Friday, and 10 were gone Friday. So I did mark them at $5 a piece, and then I ended up coming home Friday night, making more bags, because I did have some extra inventory here at the house that I didn't bring, and wrapped those up and brought them on Saturday. Saturday, I think I sold, I want to say I sold like 6 or 8. I brought 14 more bags on Saturday because I was like, oh my gosh, like I have 2 more days. Like, I'm going to have to make these stretch somehow. And I think I sold 8 on Saturday, and I had a couple left over on Sunday when I came home, but they did really well. I think I came home at 4. So all in all, I think I sold 20 bags. Did I do my math right? Yeah, I sold 20 mystery bags. All of them on Friday were $5, and then Saturday and Sunday I had a split of some of the bags. So some bags were 10 and some bags were 5, depending on what the item was. And I'll put a list somewhere here on the screen of what I put in the bags, because that wasn't also another big question here on the Q&A box that I put on Instagram, was asking what I put in the bags. And so everything that was in the bags were like palm size, like this small. Like, they were just small crocheted items that I made with either scrap yarn, or I've made for, like, I don't know. I think I was like, when you're bored, I don't know, sometimes people get bored and you want to like do like a little quick project. I would just do a little quick thing and I would throw it in a bucket. That's basically what I did. So I had a lot of like palm size crochet items, and yeah, it was fun. I did not put like a sign or anything like that, putting as to what would be in the bags or what they were. I thought this would be a good opportunity to use, like, to talk to people. So if they were approaching where the bags were and they were having, like, they were like with like question, you know, they were touching them and they were excited about them. And then I would look over and be like, oh, do you want a mystery bag? So the mystery bags have X, Y, and Z, and you know, it's a surprise. Like, I don't know what are in there because I don't remember. I just packaged them up and I threw them in a bucket. So I'm sure if I probably touched it and squeezed, I probably could figure out what it was, but it's the surprise factor that was really good, and everyone loved that. I had a lot of questions asking about where I got the bags and the stickers and how I packaged them. So the bags I got from Hobby Lobby in the bakery section. They're like little Ziploc bags. I think they're made for like cookies. I got some colorful ones. I think they were pink, blue, and purple, like mixed in a package. I think I got 24 bags for like $3.99 or $4.99, and I'm pretty sure it was on sale like that week. Like there was like a big sign on that like aisle that they were on sale. So I got a pretty good amount of bags for cheap, I felt. And I know I've seen other makers use like the boxes that have the question marks on them, and you can either get those from like Amazon or like AliExpress or any of those types of places. And I just didn't have time to get those because it was kind of the spur of the moment when I was thinking about doing this, and I was like, there has to be another way that I can make this work. And so that was my idea. I was like, I need to get some like goodie bags. Like that's what went through my mind, was like goodie bags for birthday parties and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I stumbled upon those at Hobby Lobby. And then the bags were a little bit transparent, like if you held it up, you can kind of see through it. So I just used tissue paper and I wrapped the item in tissue paper and then I put it into the bag. It was honestly a really good idea because people were like, oh, they kind of just wanted to like peek into it, but they couldn't because I wrapped it up pretty well in the bag. And then I also have stickers that I got from Amazon a while ago. I was trying to use these stickers for like thank you stickers. They're like round, I think they're like 1 inch, or no, they're 2 inch round label printer sticker things. And I was gonna put them in my label printer like for thank yous, like to put on my packages when I'm shipping things out. And my label printer did not like those stickers for some reason. It just never worked. So they were just sitting on my desk and I'm looking at them. I'm like, this would work, because I was thinking about just using permanent marker on top of those Ziploc bags and just writing mystery bag and then put like the price on top. But I ended up using those stickers, and then I just wrote mystery bag and then I wrote the price on top of it. And I just stuck it on the bag and it worked out pretty well. I loved it. So mystery bags was definitely highly recommended. What is the other questions here? Where do you get stuff for your display / setup? So this might sound really silly. So a lot of the things I use for my setup actually come from my house. So like crates, baskets, and that kind of stuff, like the mirror. I had a mirror at my show this time with like a clothes rack where I hung cardigans, and I hung like the little scrappies, my little like for kids cardigans. I also brought some tank tops that I had extras for kids. Didn't know if it was the right season, but I honestly just wanted to use it as a filler for the clothing rack. But those things came from home. Like I kind of just take things off my walls or empty baskets just to use them for the show, and then when I get back, I'll just put whatever was in the basket back in the basket. So that's basically what I did. But some key items that I did get from like online and that kind of stuff was like tablecloths and like the ones that go on the feet. And then I also got like a tablecloth to go on top. I got those from Amazon. I do have an Amazon storefront. I have it linked in my Instagram bio. So if you ever are curious, like you can just like go on there. This pegboard I also got. I think I got this pegboard actually from Target, but they have the same exact one on Amazon. I don't know if they have it at Target anymore. I haven't checked in a while, but I got that pegboard from Target. And so what my girlfriend and I did, we actually wrapped the pegboard around the legs of our canopy, and it was like kind of like a 360 like hanging like idea. It was so good, and it like covered the ugly legs of our canopy. And I got baskets for those for like the pegboards and like hooks and stuff. All that's from Amazon, and I have that linked in my bio on Instagram. I'll try to link it here in the description, but every time I try to put a link here in the description, it never works. Like, or it'll like give me an error. So if it does that and you don't see it in the description, head over to my Instagram and it's right there in the bio. What else would I use for setup? Oh, table risers. This is a big one. So I learned this from someone on Instagram. Like I just stumbled upon one of her videos, and this was like probably 2 years ago. And I saw that she put her table on like risers, and I was like, I have those risers. Like I used it for my mattress, like my bed frame at home. And I was like, those are brilliant. Like that's a brilliant idea because like it makes the table a little higher and it's not like so low. and it's like more eye appealing, I guess. And so table risers is definitely a must. Like if you have a table at all in your booth, table risers, like genius. What else did I get that seemed, oh, I have a lot of questions. It was like, I think there was 3 asking about the benches. I had some benches at my setup. Like they're doll bench. One's a doll bench and one's a children's bench. I actually got the doll bench from a consignment place, and then the children's bench I got from Home Goods. So here is my tip. So if you are ever planning to do a craft show or a market or anything that has to do with selling your crocheted items or selling anything in that matter, and you're just out and about and just shopping around and you see something, you're like, oh, that would do so well at my setup. Or like think about, if you looked at a basket, like, oh, what could fit in that basket that I make that I could use at a craft show? Like that's basically what goes through my mind most of the time. So like when I buy a basket, I know my basket is not really for my house, like 100%. Sometimes I ended up taking it to a craft show. So that's basically what happened with these benches. Like I did use them for my daughter at one point, like to take pictures of her, and she would sit on the bench and it was so cute. But I was like looking at them, I was like, these would work so well at a craft show, like on top of a table or on the floor by like a pegboard or something like that. There's something on my floor. Sorry. I just got distracted. Ooh, wow. Okay. And so like anything that like what's the word? Like rising, like there's people that use the right word, and I'm not the right person to use this word, but like making different tiers on your table, like making your eyes go everywhere, like it's good to do that, because anything that you can stack on top of something and fill it in, like perfect. What else did I get from my market that someone was like, oh, the ladder. I have a ladder that I hang blankets off of, and I actually got it at Hobby Lobby on clearance, believe it or not. It was so good. I looked at it and I was like, I could actually use this for my Christmas blankets during like Christmas here, because I have so many Christmas blankets, like way more than I'm embarrassed to say. And that first year I got it, I used it for Christmas blankets, and I kept looking at it and I was like, this would work for crochet blankets, like at a craft show. And ever since then, I've been using it for craft shows. So, and I use it in my office to like hang things on. So ladder, definitely a good find. I would probably just try looking around, like it's different stores and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't try to get that on Amazon. You don't want to spend too much money on something that you're only going to use for a show, unless you're going to use it in your home. But yeah, those are most of my market display items that I'm thinking about that people were questioning about. Like I said, a lot of things came from my house. I just, like, believe it or not, there was a basket that I used for my pillows underneath my clothes rack, and that basket is my daughter's hamper. So I just basically dumped her clothes on the floor, and I just took that basket for the weekend. Did I return the basket? I sure did, but I just used it for 3 days. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, I wouldn't go too crazy on buying new display items or new setups and that kind of stuff for your shows. Just use what you have at the house. Like, tablecloths, super easy. Like, if you have a curtain or something, or like I have this like huge like lace blanket, like I could have used that, but I only had one of those and I have 2 tables, so I needed to buy a second tablecloth. But like if you have one table, use a tablecloth or something that you have at your house, like, or a blanket. Like, you can just throw a blanket right on top of the table and make it look aesthetically pleasing. I don't know. Let's go on to the next couple ones here. What did you do? Mystery bags. Let's see. Which many mystery bag? A lot of mystery bags here. I'm going really slow. Okay. What did I put in my mystery bags? How do I price my little scrappies and my large scrappies? Or what's your price point for those scrappies? So I do discount them just a little bit for shows. I don't discount them too much, but I do put a price on there that I feel comfortable selling at a show, especially for someone who is going to absolutely love and adore it and actually use it. I also, on tags like larger items that take me a long time to make, I did put on the back of the tag how long it actually took me to make. So on the scrappies that I did bring, like these cardigans, if you don't know what a scrappy is. I did write on the back of the tag how long it took to make, and so typically they take me a little over 30 hours to make from start to finish. So I write that on the tag, and then I write my price, and then I have a mirror and they can try it on, and that's what I would tell people. But I basically brought the scrappies with me to bring people into my booth. I had zero expectations that anyone would buy them or even be remotely like interested and like question to themselves, like, do I want this? Like it happened a lot. Like there was a lot of people that actually then came back to the booth because they wanted to look at it again. And then they got my card, like not my, I don't have a card. I had like a little QR code you can scan for my Etsy shop. And they scanned my code for my Etsy shop because they were like, you know what, if I keep thinking about it, I'll end up messaging you. And or some people wanted like a different color, and I was like, yeah, I can probably do that for you. I just can't do it this year. And I was like trying to explain, to being honest, like they do take a while to make, and custom orders will be a little bit more expensive than the price that you see here on the tag. But if you do let me know that you found me here, I can try to make a deal with you. Sometimes I do that, especially like, you know, networking is fun, and it's good to like, people love that, knowing that they could get a good deal. Even though, yes, it's handmade, they love a good deal somewhere. The little scrappies did, I priced those a little bit lower than I normally would have online, only because they were samples, like samples I made for my pattern. And yeah, I have my delivery service coming here, so I'm gonna have to pause this real fast. Okay, sorry. My dogs just went crazy for this FedEx truck that just passed by my house. Anyway, I'm trying to like not edit this video like extremely because I wanted to upload it as fast as possible because I'm getting a lot of questions about the show. So I forgot where I was. Oh, little scrappies. Okay, so I did price those a little lower. I think I already said that. Because they were samples that I made for my pattern, but I didn't price them too low. I think I had them marked at $70 a piece. No matter, and then there was one that was like a sample size because it was one that was like in between a size that wasn't in my pattern, and I sold that for, I think, for $50, and that's the one that actually sold. So I did sell a little scrappy, and it was the cheaper of the rest that I think I brought 5, cheaper of the 5 that I brought, and that one sold. It went, like, the little girl put it on and she loved it so much, and she's like, I want this. So she took it. It was like a 4, it was between a 3 and a 4 size, but it was more so like 4 to 5. Like it was just a little too big for a 3-year-old, so that's why it was a sample size. And I gave it like a sample discount on that one, and I was totally okay with letting it go at that price. But yeah, those did pretty well, and the price, you know, people would come in to the booth because I put them out in the front with my scrappies. They loved the colors, they loved to touch them, they were looking at the price, and they were like, I love how you put the hours that it took you to make this not the blanket, took you to make this cardigan. It puts it into perspective of the price, and this is just so smart. And I got a lot of praise on that, and I think that was a tip that I saw on Instagram like a little while ago, and I was like, I probably should try that, and I did. I only did that though on my larger items. So anything that I knew that took like over 15 hours to do, that's what when I wrote it. Like any stuffed animal or anything like that I know that may have been a little intricate, I didn't put the hours it took to make those. I figured I don't know if anybody would question the price, and there was no really any rude comments on pricing at my booth. Some people questioned it a bit, and then they kind of were like, but this is a lot of work. And, you know, I was like, yeah, it is a lot of work. And lots of, you know, yarn went into it and that kind of stuff. I did have 2 blankets that I brought to throw, like couch blankets. And one was my chunky sprout. So my big mistake on that one is I didn't have a price tag on it, and I didn't have time to get one. Like, I had totally forgotten to put a price tag on that one, but it was getting lots of love. People were loving the colors, and they loved the little fringe on the bottom. So I did also bring a Hazel checkered blanket, and that pattern's by Jackie at JoyFilledCrochet. I can probably put a picture of it somewhere here. That one sold on Saturday. The girl that came to look at it, she looked at it and she fell in love, and she was like, I need this blanket. It was like perfect for like bonfires and that kind of deal. And she's like, I'm gonna have to go find my husband. So she went and found her husband. Her husband came back. Like, I think it was about like an hour or so after I've seen this girl. Mind you, this blanket was getting lots of love. I put it out in the front after Friday. On Friday, I think I had it more on the inside of the booth because I was nervous of it being, there's like that, my tent got frosted from how cold it was in the morning, so I didn't want it to get wet. But on Saturday, I figured I put it in the front, but underneath the tent where it wasn't dripping from like the frost melting. And when I put the blankets up at front, it did really well. People just kept looking at it and touching it. They wanted it, but they were like, looked at the price and they were like, like that's probably like out of their price range, but that's totally okay. Like, this is like, it's perfect to have some bigger ticket items that like will bring people in your booth. And I'm the type to make the booth like that you can walk into. I don't ever put tables in the front. I like people to come in underneath the tent to kind of look around and scope the place and that kind of stuff. So that blanket did really well. The woman did come back with her husband about an hour later, and her husband looked at it and was like, yep, we'll take it. And he, like, no questions about the price. They were just so excited to have it. It was something that was unique to them, and they were like, we're going to use this. And the husband's like, it's going to smell like campfire by the end of the day. And I was like, that's awesome, because I want you to use it. I don't want you to buy something and put it on display and never use it. Like, it's meant to be used. And that made me so happy. I was very grateful for that. So that was my biggest item that sold at the show. I think I priced that blanket at $150. So I discounted about 25 bucks. It was on my Etsy shop for 175. And so I was like, I can do it for 150. I felt like that was a good deal. And I was happy with that price. It's a very mindless crochet pattern, and I enjoyed it. And it wasn't like too intricate where I felt that it stressed me out. And I typically charge for my patience a lot, not much for my labor. So yeah, I'm also working on another one now, of course, because that's what I was working on at the show. Let's see if there's anything else that someone asked. How well did beanies sell? So this year I only brought 5 and I sold 3. And the beanies I make are by CJ Design. I made them using the Woolies Thick and Quick by Lion Brand, and I had a palm on all of them, and the palm was removable because I have a button on the inside that you were able to remove the palm. So if they don't like palms on their beanies, they could take it off, or I can take it off for them. Or it's good to, if you want to wash your beanie, you can take the palm off. So I think they did pretty well. Like, typically I think I brought a lot of beanies last year to the same event, and I want to say I brought like 8, and I only sold 1 last year. So that's kind of like a hit or miss item. Like, that's just something that you want to make maybe a couple, like a handful of, like 5, and just bring them just to see how they respond, because some people may want them, some people may not want them. Maybe somebody wants to buy it for a Christmas present or something like that. So, and I did price them decently well. I think they were priced at $25. The beanie was super easy to make. I think it was like under an hour, like from start to finish. When you use like that thick yarn, it's like very quick. So $25 I sold each beanie for, and I think, yeah, and I came home with 2. So what was the other thing? The other beanies that I used to sell? I don't remember now, but definitely the beanies, it's called the Costa beanie by CJ Design. It's a good pattern. Anyway, any tips for finding markets to participate in? So my girlfriend and I do shows together. So we used to intermingle our booths when we first started, and this was our first year separating our booths, like being in 2 separate booths. Before, we used to like group them together, but that's besides the point in the question. But my girlfriend is pretty active on Facebook. Like, she likes to scroll through there sometimes, and that's how she finds shows to do, like on groups, and like groups within your city or your county or whatever. I think she follows a bunch of groups like within the surrounding cities of us, and we just basically check to see if anyone's looking for vendors. That's basically how we found this one. I don't know who found this one, her or I. Like, I don't know. but that's how we find them, is on Facebook. She's also has people reaching out to her about her hi Tuck Tuck. She has people reaching out to her asking for her to vend at their events, like for schools and stuff. Like, it's something that's worth looking into or just asking about. I mean, you can always just post something on Facebook. Hey, do you guys know of any craft shows or fall festivals or spring markets or, you know, farmers markets that people are looking for vendors? And you can just start small and start like at a 1-day like gig and see how it goes. But that's basically where we find them, is on Facebook. Where do you recommend starting? Do you need an LLC? So I know that there's some places that do require like an LLC and insurance, but all the ones that I have done so far do not require that. I do not have an LLC yet. I'm unsure when that's going to happen. Maybe within the next year or two, I might end up getting one, but I just use everything under my social. So, yeah, I'm not at that. I don't know. I have imposter syndrome sometimes, but I don't know if I'm ready for an LLC right now. Especially like, I think it's mostly based off like revenue and the gross profit and that kind of stuff. So like, sometimes it's not worth like the headache of an LLC, especially if you're not making enough to cover that license. So, yeah. And where do I recommend starting? Just start. Like, make a couple things and just sell them and see what happens. Like, even if you like have a niche, if you have like, you like making home stuff like dishcloths, trivets, hot pads, kitchen towel holders, or dish scrubbies, or if you have, or you like scarves, beanies, or amigurumi stuff, animals and baby blankets, and just make a few items like here and there, and then just sign up for a market and see what happens. It's good to hear what people say about your things because it will give you other ideas, and it will like help you figure out what people like, or maybe it might like colors and that kind of stuff. So I would just make a stockpile of stuff and just try to find a show and sell it. I know this is my first year that I decided that I was going to stop making things like made to order, and that I was strictly only going to make things that made me happy and using the colors that I want, and like not caring if the colors like went well together or not, because it made me happy. And it's funny, that was one of the biggest compliments I had at my booth, was that they loved the colors. Even if it was a fall festival, like I had so many bright colors just booming out of that booth that they just wanted to walk in just to see them, just to see what was there in color and that kind of stuff. So yeah, and if you have like a color theme or a brand or something, stick to it. Like for me right now, it's mostly color, or just like making some weird stuff with color. Let's see what other questions I have here. Do you find people actually use your QR code board? Yes, a lot. People will actually just take a picture of it sometimes, and just so they can have my shop name on there. And then some people will actually use it and like scan the code for like my Instagram or my Etsy shop. And then sometimes people want to use Venmo instead of like a cash or the card, so they'll pay through Venmo, and then they'll scan it right on that board. Those boards are from my dear friend Nikki over at Bowden Handmade. So if you ever have questions about those, just shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll send you her information. And that's basically where I get, like, well, she made mine, but that's basically where I sent everyone to get their QR code signs. It's cute and small, and you can just put it like somewhere on your table, and someone's going to see it and be like, that's cool. I want to scan. I want to see more of what she has, because she may not have everything on this table, because people may have sold, like you may have sold things, or you didn't bring everything, or you didn't have time, so they want to look at everything else you have. So QR code, it's definitely elite, and you should definitely get it. Let's see what else here. Do you allow try-ons of wearables? Yes. So that's why I brought the mirror. I figured if someone actually was interested in purchasing or trying it on, like a cardigan, like a scrappy, yes, definitely, for sure. I mean, I'm the crocheter or the maker of it. So if you do end up snagging a stitch or something bad goes wrong, like if something happens, like I'm pretty sure I can fix it. And I love watching people try them on and seeing how it looks and seeing how it fits and seeing how they feel in it. Like that's don't bring wearables to a show if they can't try it on. Like, especially if it's crocheted, because sometimes everyone's body types are different. Some people are tall, some people are short, some people are a little bit round, some people are very petite, and they don't know how they're gonna like it. They don't want to spend the money on something if it's not gonna look good, and they're gonna go home and be like, wow, this was really bad, and they're gonna end up having to find someone to give it to, or they're just gonna be stuck with this item because they don't know how to use it, and it's just gonna hang in their closet, and you don't want that. You want them to buy something from you and they're actually gonna wear it, like if it's a wearable, and love it. So yes, definitely allow try-ons with wearables. Whoa, did I go too fast? I don't know, did I answer this question? See, I probably should keep track. Love the kittens. What pattern do you use? Did I talk about this? If I didn't, if I did, I'm sorry, but I did have like a little box, or not box, basket on my table that said adopt a kitty, and I made a litter of kitties. And yeah, those kitties did so well. I sold out of them by Saturday morning. They were all gone. And the kitty pattern is by Raven Jade Co. Her name is Crystal, and it's so cute. It's like a little small kitty. It has like a long tail, and it's like a lovey style, so the body's not stuffed. Yeah, definitely recommend kittens or cats or any type of cats. I know loaf cats do well at shows, mini loaf cats. I did have a big like Whiskers cat also by Raven Jade Co. That one sold. Like anything that was a cat sold. It was gone. So anything cat related, do it. Let's see. I think that was it. A lot of the questions were very repetitive, and oh, I just scrolled right past it. Sorry. How well did the pillows do? I see them all on your setup. So pillows did so well, surprisingly. So I had brought, I think, six daisy pillows by Corey at Two Little Knots, and those all sold. Or was it 5? Did I bring 5 or 6? I don't remember, but I did sell out of them all. Like I brought 2 or 3 big ones and 2 small ones. I can't really remember. My brain is fried. But daisy pillows were a hit, and these daisy pillows were colorful. I did not make them in the color of a daisy. I made them like in hot pink, purple. I had yellow, like a mustard and rust color. I had blush pink, and what was the other one? I think it was like a peach color. Those sold out by Saturday. Or no, Sunday was my last one. Oh, yeah, Sunday someone bought the last one that was just hanging out. The checkered pillows, so well loved. I had a orange and white checkered pillow. Basically like I'm in Tennessee, so college football is a really big thing here. So that was that sold on Sunday, and go figure, because we did really well on Saturday. And the person that sold it actually, or that bought it, came on Friday to the event, saw it, and came back on Sunday to get the pillow. She came back to my booth specifically, and to another booth that she was telling me about that she was had forgotten, like didn't forget, but she had wanted to go back for specific items because she couldn't stop thinking about it. So she came back on Sunday to buy this white and orange checkered pillow. It was so sweet. So that one did so well. What was the other ones that did okay? Oh, the boot, the Darlin boot pillow by Brie at Dear Little Dudley. So good. People loved it. They just loved looking at it. They loved the idea of it. They didn't like the price. I'm pretty sure that was the reason why it didn't sell, but I'm not the type that wants to sell something less than what I think it's worth. So I love that it was getting lots of love, and they loved the idea, and they were like, I wish I had like maybe a chair or a kid's bed to decorate this with, and you know, there was lots of talk about it. But yeah, pillows did actually pretty good for me this year. They normally are something that I just bring to like kind of like fill in space on the bottom. Like if like, I don't know, I always feel like if your space is kind of like empty on the bottom, it looks kind of funny. You want your eyes to kind of do like this. That's how I think when I'm setting up a booth. So I bring those basically just to like cover the bottom of the clothing rack I had, and I didn't want this huge gaping hole in the bottom because I didn't have things that were long enough for this clothing rack. So what was the other thing that does well other than the pillows? Oh, trivets. Trivets did really well. I had brought my Birdie Trivets, and I also brought my thrifter pouches. Oh my gosh, my thrifter pouches did so well. And I was actually surprised because I did price them at $20 a piece, only because that liner is a headache sometimes, and you know, it's lined with a zipper. And so I think I brought a good amount of thrifter pouches. I think I only came home with like 3 or 4. I don't remember again. Thrifter pouches did well. It's basically a granny square pouch that has a liner inside, and it's good for like, you know, a coin purse, or like for girls if they want like a little bag for their tampons, their pads, first aid, like Band-Aids. Another person said that she was going to use it for her daughter's hair stuff for her dance class, and I was like, that's super sweet. And I loved that because she was like, it would go perfect in her backpack, and I'll know exactly where it is, and I don't have to lose it. She was like, she used to put things like in like a little snack bag, and she would always lose it. So she was like, this is perfect. And then she had like a miniature hairbrush that she showed me in her bag, and she's like, this is gonna fit perfect. Like, she even tried to put it in there, and it fit perfectly. And so she ended up buying 2, I think. So that was cool. So thrifter pouches did well. Birdie Trivets did well. It was like a hot pad, granny square hot pad. I had 2 people buy one for their plants. They loved it as like a plant, like rug for like a pot. And then other people, I had a couple of the Tennessee Vols colors, like the orange and white. So they bought those for their table to like decorate, because they decorate for the college football. So yeah, like wherever you are, try to like maybe implement some colors that do well with like football, or anything that you know that they're gonna like. Like, I would totally do that. What was the other thing that did well? So that I'm the type that doesn't bulk make things. Like, sometimes I'll hyperfixate on some things, like cats. I did hyperfixate on thrifter pouches, Birdie Trivets, which, like, good thing that I did because they did so well. But I only did bring like a couple of like stuffy items, like the plush animals. So I did bring a horse, a pig. I brought bunnies that I had just like leftover from the spring. I was like, I'll bring them, see what happens. I sold out of everything. I think I only have one levy left, and it was a dinosaur. And I sold a bear, I sold a fox. I don't remember the rest now that I'm thinking about it. I sold a bee. Oh, I did have a couple of Mabel chickens. I'm pretty sure you probably already know which one that one is. Had a couple of those. Those sold out on Friday. But I figured there was gonna be other crocheters around me, so I wasn't too worried about making that many. I was like, I'm only gonna make a couple, let the other crocheters sell out of theirs or sell some of theirs. I had 2 brown ones and 1 speckled one, if that makes any difference, but they did sell. What was the other little stuffy items I brought? Oh, I brought some spooky things. So this event was in October, so I did bring a couple of like Halloween-y stuff. So I brought 2 ghosts, little ghost guys. I brought a Frankenstein guy, like it was small, and I made a bat. Those all sold out on Friday. Like, I didn't have any spooky. Well, I did have one. I think I have 2 spooky things at my booth for the rest of the weekend. I had Jack, the big Jack pumpkin head dude thing, and then I had a zombie pillow. That crochet pattern is it's like an accent pillow. It's by Stephanie at Eat, Pray, and Crochet, and he has like an eyeball that's coming out. It was funny. Everyone loved him too. So there's like some things that you should just make and bring, just to bring people in and like question and talk about it. It gives you an opportunity to network and that kind of stuff. So definitely, yeah. I hope I covered a good amount. I actually love the idea of markets and craft shows. They're fun for me. I think this is my best one I've done so far, and I'm unsure if it's because I was in a booth by myself and I wasn't intermingled with my friend, or if it was just one of those lucky weekends where people were just being super nice and they were praising me, and I don't know, I was so thankful. It was awesome. It was so awesome. I didn't really do anything differently about the things I make. I just made what brought me joy and happiness. I think probably this is the first show only that I brought scrappy cardigans to, but I used to bring blankets and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And this is the first year that they've done pretty well. I think crochet is coming back. So if you're looking to do a show, just do it. And even if it's not like the best, and take it as an opportunity to network with people, get people's opinions, and ask what they would like to see from you next time if you do the show again, and that kind of stuff. Like that used to help me a lot. Like people used to always say, oh, do you have ducks? Do you have any ducks? Oh, my daughter loves giraffes. And it's like, yeah, I can make those, but I didn't bring them. But like good ideas, like take notes. So, you know, like for the next time, make sure you put like a little giraffe in there or some ducks and that kind of stuff. So I think that's a good amount of information. I think I've been recording for almost 40 minutes. So I think it's time to say bye, and that maybe you probably watch this while you're crocheting or something. If you have any other questions, I guess put them in the comment section here on this video, and I can just answer them there. A lot of the questions I did get on Instagram were very repetitive, and so I tried my best to kind of like compile them. Well, yeah, I think there's one more here that I didn't answer. Why? Oh, there it is. Because I clicked it. What would your inventory focus be if you only had one table at the booth with limited space? Okay, so this is my last question, sorry. So I would just make maybe 2 or 3 of the same items, like here and there. So maybe make like 2 pigs, maybe make like 1 horse and 1 cow, like to kind of make like a little farm animal section. Maybe make like a little section of just like loveys or stuffies, or it depends on your niche, really. I'm the type of lady that likes to do all the stuff. Like I like all of the things. Maybe make a couple scrunchies, like for, you know, for people who want to support you. And you know what you can do with the one table is like maybe you can like get like magnets on the other side of the table, and then like magnet on the other and inside the table, and put like a hook and like hang, like, I don't know, like hang something from the table, and then you can make more space. And then maybe put a basket out in the front of the table. People are going to be able to just reach over the basket. Don't do a huge basket, but like reach over the basket. And I would tier up the table a bit, like maybe put baskets or crates to make it taller. I think one table is probably way more space than you think it is. It may seem like a little like limited, but I totally think that you can make it like put more inventory. If you like stack up crates, put some stuff in the crates, maybe put some stuff on the bottom by the table, like baskets with like the large baskets with like random stuff inside. People love looking through things. People love touching things, especially if they're crocheter with yarn. They want to see how soft it is. You know, give them something to do while they're at your table, and then you could talk to them, be like, hey, how is it going? And that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, put yourself out there and just do it. Even if you only have one table and limited space. Yeah, you can totally do that. But I'm going to end it here. I hope I answered a good amount of questions, and I gave you some insight on how my market went and how I did some things, or what I used for my display and that kind of stuff. But if you want more from me, I guess you can just subscribe to this channel and like this video. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comment section below this video somewhere. I can do my best to answer them all, and I don't have all the answers, so I could just do my best. But yeah, I'm going to probably have some lunch now. I'm getting a little hungry, and maybe take a nap, like just hang out on the couch for a sec and just close my eyes and just, you know, just relax my body. I feel so sore, but anyway, it was nice chatting. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and until next time.